Let me know if this sounds reasonable. Cool. Anyway, I'm just gonna get started because I have no idea what's up with OBS and getting any of the audio routing things to work. Hi, I'm Kat. I'm on the internet, and what I'm working on today is a game that I've been making for a while, and by being here, hopefully I'll get to work on it even more. If at any point the noise is way too loud, just tell me and we'll figure it out. I'm basically just streaming stuff from SoundCloud because it's great. So why I'm doing this, because you probably know that I'm basically never on Twitch, is that I am participating in the third Spawn for Good stream, and I've participated previously about 2 years ago, I guess, at this point. So, and I missed last year just because I was really busy at the time, and I figured I would do this one. Yay! So this year, they are supporting people through One Simple Wish. And One Simple Wish is an organization that helps to grant wishes to people who are in foster care. So if you want to help foster care children, the really easy way to do it is just by supporting this campaign that we're doing. So you can go to onesimplewish.org and just go to /giving/spawn for good, and you can, grant a kid's wish. Right now, I think we're at 6 wishes granted. So we just want to keep that going and get those numbers even higher. Yay! Cool. So, also to note, if you enjoyed the stuff that we're streaming, then just, share it on the internet. There are hashtags down there somewhere that you can use. As for G3, there's just hashtag Spawn for Good. One Simple Wish has a Twitter channel, and my stuff is Cat Small and then Game Dev. Huzzah! Alright, I'm just gonna also be within Slack channels in a different window. So feel free to say hello at any point. Anyway, I'll just be working. Let me know if the music is really loud or irritating. I tried to keep it at a reasonable level. Also, my computer is having a tad of a heart attack right now, so if you ever start hearing this weird noise, that's my computer trying to live. I'm sorry. I'm gonna close Dropbox so it helps a little bit. I'm also replying to tweets because so many tweets. Cool, let's see. So one of the things I think I'm going to work on today is, I would really like to have a stress meter in this game. So if you haven't seen this game, SweetXheart, before, which you probably haven't, how it works is you kind of go through the process of living my life back when I was in, this was a while ago, so maybe 6 years ago, when I was in college. And so you kind of go through this whole process, and I won't force you to see the whole thing right now because I'll be constantly going through it. But one thing I wanted to add is this concept of a stress meter, because as you're going through the game, the character gets more and more stressed out, and you can like lessen that stress level as well by making certain choices. So right here, I just made a choice to put together this outfit, and this outfit is really cute, and obviously I have the same taste as this character who is based on my life, so that's easy. But then there's certain times where you'll pass by, characters in the game, and they'll say stuff to you, and you have the choice to either reply back to them or not say anything in certain cases, and that's kind of how the game works. I'm also planning to add in like some more interactive exercises, because I think I realized throughout designing this that as much of a fan of narrative games as I am, I think there's something really interesting about developing like mechanics that tell narrative stories as well. So I want to put more of that in there. So we'll see. So actually, one of the things I think I'm going to open up is something I've been using a lot with this, which is, I have so many strings of text. Okay, diagrams. Let's see. Well, that's old. Yeah, maybe they're all in this file. So I'm going to make a diagram, because that's kind of how my brain works, and then I'm going to illustrate it in Illustrator, and then after it's been illustrated, I'm going to figure out how to input it into the game. Oh, I gotta update OmniGraffle. Can you tell that I'm really good at computers? Also, one sec. Okay, just checking things. Let's see. Yay! OmniGraffle's done. This is the life of a person who makes a lot of diagrams, if you can't tell. Oh my god, OmniGraffle, you are just a mess. Also, these are all my JavaScript files for this game, because so what I'm building this in currently is a game engine that's called Phaser, and I'm a huge fan of it. This game is like 2 years old, and I think I updated the framework last year, so I'm not going to try updating it again, because Phaser's doing a bunch of new stuff. So this is the other thing that happens when you do games long term, is like sometimes stuff just changes over time, and you just kind of have to figure out if it makes sense for you to stick with a certain version of the framework or keep updating it constantly. And I just decided at some point that in order to avoid this process of constantly having to keep up with stuff, I would just do it by myself and not worry about updating anything. So I would say that I'm probably not on this version, but let's check, actually, because you can check. Let's see, console. Yeah, 2.4 is not bad. So whatever, that's fine. And you'll also note down here that I have a couple of like things that I told the console to check, because I'm working in JavaScript, just to make sure that everything's functioning. So anytime I switch between different scenes in this game, it automatically tells me that I have switched. So that's pretty fun. I think OmniGraffle actually decided it wanted to work, so that's good. But it didn't open the file I said to open, so that's also something. Now, I don't remember if I had everything in here, but I think I had a lot of stuff. Yeah, so in here is where I had a lot of the different designs I was working with before much of this game was actually built. So at the very least, even if it never becomes emotionally striking, it is surely well documented. So what I'm going to do is just sit within this file I was working with before, and I have this one area where I've tried to figure out all the interactive scenes and how they're supposed to work from a visual design or like a layout perspective. So what I'm going to do is take this little human here. What happens if I just, okay, that's fine. Great. So let's say that why do I have this all in a group? Cool. Alright, so I'm just going to visually diagram what it looks like when a character in this game is talking to someone else. So I'm using a lot of shortcuts because I'm lazy. Alright, so you. Great. This is usually something about what it looks like. The person comes in from the side, and then they have like some kind of dialogue that happens. So I'm just making sure that I drop in some little eyes so that it's really clear what this character is, even though I'm the one who's looking at this. You never know when someone else is going to look at these things. So yeah. Also, hello other new people who showed up. Again, if the music is too loud or anything, then just tell me, I'll turn it down, and also feel free to ask me questions or chat or anything. Hopefully it's pretty clear what I'm doing, but I'm working on some interface stuff for the game that I'm building, and so I'm gonna hope that by the end of these approximately 3 hours I'm hoping to stream, that I've got something set up. So this is what I'm thinking. And what was in my mind when I was thinking of how this was going to work is that maybe there'd be an image in the corner that represented how the character's feeling. And I have this all written down in Trello because that's how I kind of work with things, but I don't think I really wrote a description for this because I failed. So I'm just going to have to wing it, which is always fun to do. Great. So let's say maybe they have like a little face or something. I'm not really sure. And then I don't remember how to do lines in this, but sure, let's just... What kind of shapes do we have? Great. Oh my god, this looks like the weirdest face I've ever seen. Oh, that's cute. Okay, sure, whatever. And then there's no easy way for me to remember how to rotate this. Oh, yay, rotated. Okay, so say that they start out like that. I'm just trying to think about how to relate these two things, but whatever. Let's try something like, oh, it could be interesting if the face moved up and down this like meter, and as the face moved, maybe it'll feel happier or sadder. Hi, Jeb. Yay. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put these things in the right order so they don't look super weird. Group. And then I think I still remember the shortcut for, nope, I don't. There we go. Cool. Okay, so the only thing is that there's basically three, I guess, yeah, so as it moves down or up, it could change when it hits certain levels, which could be interesting. So let's say that this is one threshold right here. So this is like when you're feeling absolutely terrible, then maybe this is like meh, and this is like the greatest you can possibly feel in the game. Whoa. And then this could be like a gradient or something, because those are great. I'm just like throwing stuff out there. Hi, Wit. Let's see. Yeah, so maybe it's something like that, and as you move around, it's like, oh no, the character's getting sadder and sadder and sadder. So if they were here, then they might kind of have a more middle face. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of cool. And I wouldn't have thought of that without doing this. So that's maybe a thing we'll try. The only thing I guess is kind of weird is that the character's kind of over here, and their head face thing is over here, so we could try rotating it just to see what that looks like. Let's see, how do I do this? Yeah, there we go. Da-da-da. But seriously, if the music, I don't even know if people can hear the music, so that's actually the first question. But if you can't hear it, just tell me and I'll just, or if it's too loud, then I'll also adjust. Okay. That could work because the character's always on this side anyway. Okay. I'm going to try visualizing this and then seeing how it works in the game. Let's see. Yay. I also take times to respond to tweets because Twitter. I think I retweeted this already. Yes, I did. Great. Okay. Alright. Great. Thanks, Jeb. I appreciate you. Okay. Let's see. Handy Dandy Illustrator is right here. And of course, some of these things get stuck in certain areas. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is just get out of here. Firstly, organize my windows because number one, all the time. Get in there. Thank you. Can I like? Yes. Thank you. Great. All right. This is the wrong file. I have multiple files for this game. And I guess I haven't opened the other one in a long time, so it's a little confused. Let's see. No. Oh my god, I have so many files. Wait, it's in here somewhere. Oh wait, this is it. LOL. Okay, it's open. Great. So actually, yeah, this is where most of my UI stuff is. Although I think I have another file, but I don't know where it is. Let me go look for it really quickly. Oh my god. I have so many files. This is sad. Help. I think I'm getting somewhere. You know. Let me just do a search. Alright, searching is truly the answer. Because oh, well, duh. I don't know why I didn't think of putting that there. Okay. I do have a UI file. As you can see, I have too many files, and I really try to keep things organized, but I don't always succeed at that. Okay. Ooh. I guess at certain points, this interface is going to have to hide itself. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind as I go through this process. Okay. So this is an example. Actually, this is a really old version because as you can see, there have been some minor upgrades since before, which is why sometimes it's good to take a long time to work on a game. So take your time and don't feel pressured to launch too early. Anyway, let's see what we got here. So I want to use the face. I actually really like this face. And I don't remember where it even is at this point. Oh, I think it's in one of these other files. This is what I'm talking about. I have too many files. Activities. I know it's in there. Somehow all my SoundCloud music just ends up right back in like anime music land, and I'm not even trying. So I feel like I should just give in to what clearly the internet wants for me. Okay. So this face is really cute, and I guess it just has all of the things I wanted in here, except there's some little weird bits going on. Okay, so I'm gonna take these, because these are kind of exactly what I want, but I just need the face. And I'm gonna go back to game UI, because I'm really trying to put things in the correct order. Okay, so I think I'm also gonna take an updated screenshot, because this is just sad how old it is. Okay. Great. Delete. Are you serious? Oh, I forgot. Using larger keyboards is weird. Okay. Come on. Work with me, friend. Paste. There we are. Good thing this doesn't need to be super high quality. Great. Okay. Yeah. Good enough. Okay. Now as we have this laid out here, firstly I'm gonna go through and clear out these things. So as you can see, game development is a process. And eventually you get to the point, God, these are so cute, and I'm so sad to get rid of these. And I also realize it's gonna need hairstyle changes, but I'll worry about those later. Because in the game you can actually change the style of the hair, and because I have decided to do that, obviously I will reap what I sow later. So anytime you program in a new feature, it adds more work to your workload later, which I have heavily learned throughout this several year process. So sad. Get out of here. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. This is almost although I don't know what's going on with this one. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna, yes. Maybe, and reset. Oh, wait, I can't use that one. There we go. Wait, oh. Keyboards are weird. Man. Okay. Now I'm just checking to make sure that this really feels like the character's having a terrible day, because that's when this face is supposed to show up. So you really want to make it clear that this character is suffering. I wonder what happens if I switch the location of these. Come on. Oh, that's cute. It's kind of like, yeah, things are, okay. Ooh, I kind of like that with the, no, still feels too happy. And then I'm gonna kill the middle part. Okay. I think if I just move this up ever so slightly, not the whole thing, you. I don't know how to button with large keyboards. Too happy. Actually, maybe I will just kill these. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's reasonable. Illustrator takes forever to save. FYI, when you get massive files. And eventually it runs out of memory, which it might, considering the number of files I have open. Okay. This good start. Oh, this not good. Oh my god. There we go. Saved. Let's see. When you become a designer, these are the kinds of things that you nitpick about. Okay. Great. So now we have that part done, and let's say that the character is really happy because they just started their day. And then that's not the rectangle button. I think it's M. Cool. And then we just want to make sure to always have it kind of out of the way of the other stuff going on the screen. Which is, of course, the hardest part of life. And then stress. Let's see. Font. Y'all don't know how many times I've switched through fonts on this game because I am never happy. Ever. But you know, that's life. Okay. Or maybe that's not even needed. You know what, let's try a version where it's not needed. Okay. Maybe let's try killing that too. Or no, it's kind of necessary. Okay. And color-wise, I don't know. Blue is for buttons. That's one thing I've made very clear. Alright, well, let's at least do a basic green to red. This song is very cute. Okay, that's a fine beginning to a thing. And then I'm gonna just move that to the middle of this. Great. So what I'm trying to do is hopefully show the person who's playing this game exactly when they're gonna hit certain points, and they'll know which points to avoid and when the character is absolutely at their lowest. Oh, that's radial. Linear. Thank you. Great. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is break these up into different things so that I can export them properly and then put them into le game. Honestly, I think I can probably get away with just having these things all like, this can probably be its own group. So I'm going to export that, that, and that. Okay. Oh, saving. You take forever. Cool. So this is how I usually save things for my games. I'm going to start with it at regular size and then see what happens. Because I don't know if it's going to work properly or not. Let's see. And I will call this stress meter. Because I'm very original with my names. Icon. Happy. And then I think I mentioned there were going to be multiple types of hair, so this is an area in which I'd probably have to keep track of that. Hair 2. This is what happens when you get fancy and customizable. Icon okay, hair 2, and then icon bad. Actually, so the other one should be good because that's how I'm rating things in this. Good. I'm also going to post on Facebook because I feel like I should be a social media human. This is a solid song. I think I have done my social media duty, and now I can continue making things. Let's see. Alright, so I think I got through 3 of these things, and I just need the meter to exist as it looks here. Meter. I'm gonna just keep it simple, because that's how one does when you get tired of naming things obtuse names. Can I, like, remove... Oh my god. Okay, great. Alright. Now that I have put these things in their rightful place, what I'm going to do is locate... So I've got this preload file where every single thing in my game is. And I gotta find a place to put this. Because as you can probably see here, everything is labeled and commented. So I'm going to put it above the dialogue interface. Great. And I'm super lazy, so I'm just going to copy things. Whatever. I realized I could have made something into a sprite, but I can always do that later, because it really isn't that important. Well, anyway. I'm going to just also check and see if anyone else has given money to these adorable children who just have wishes that need to be fulfilled on One Sinful Wish. No! But hopefully you can help. So go to onesimplewish.org. It's like, it's down there. It's down there in the thing. And onesimplewish.org/giving/spawn for good. And please help the children, because they need you. They need you. Who's that Pokemon? Alright, continuing forth, I'm going to properly name these files according to their thingamabobs. So let's see. Alright, there we go. Dialogue. Okay, so I'm gonna call this stress meter BG. Stress meter icon good. Bad. Actually, I should probably... I'll do it later. See, this is the thing, is that you can always start scrappy and then make it way better when you're done. Because you'd be surprised at... I mean, sometimes it's just better to, like, get your idea out of your brain and then come back and make it way, way better. Okay, so this is under stress meter, so again, I'm going to be kind of lazy. No, not being correctly lazy. Okay, there we go. You can judge me for how terribly I'm typing things, because I know. Cool. That was a good song. That's a good song, everyone. Meter. And then this will be good. This will be okay. And then this will be bad. Great. That's a start. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my initialization file where I drop all of these functions that should be able to be accessed anywhere throughout the game. I've got all kinds of stuff here, and I think what I'm gonna do is put one right here for stress meter. Alright, anyway, this is like ultra jams. Also, if you're interested in watching any of the other Spawn for Good things that are happening, they all exist on one page. So other people are also streaming right now because we're doing it up. So let me just check and see exactly where it is. It's spawnon.me/watch-s4g3. I'm good at words. I'm gonna put it in the chat. There it is. Yay! Yay! Alright. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Boop-a-doop. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function called setup stress meter. Function. I'm not gonna put anything in it yet because I'm gonna just set it up, and then I have to figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this. I'm lazy and I wrote a ton of code about adding stuff to other things, so I'm just honestly at a point where I'm super lazy. I'm gonna put this literally at the top of the window, and then I think there was something about pinning it to the camera, which I definitely want to do. There you are. So this is ultra lazy. Alright, so my game, stress meter BG, and then I'm gonna literally copy this because this is the texture name that I want to use. Alright, and then I want to say stress meter BG is fixed to the camera, and then what I need to do is just add this to literally any of these screens. So I'm gonna put that in the intro. Oh wait, wake phone. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I have an intro area. Which one is main menu? Oh, there it is. LOL. Okay. Da, 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 da. My game. Oh yeah, I forgot I had to reset my computer at some point. CD, Niv. Seriously? There we go. SweetXheart. This is how it kind of works. And then I think in here I go Python -m simple HTTP server 8000. And what I'm doing is just creating a server so that this game can properly run, and then it should just function. And there it is. There it is. Oh, wit. Oh, cool. Check it out. There it is. So I have happily dropped this stress meter in the game. It looks like it's supposed to. It appears relatively where it's supposed to be, but I think maybe let's drop it somewhere a little bit further over. So I'm gonna say 40. Oh my god, that's a cat emoji. So cute. Did I? Yeah, X. Yeah, 40 is X. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one of the little faces. So I'm going to say my game stress meter icon. Then I just want to remember what I called these things, because I'm so good at names. Okay, see, I did this right. This is how you want to do development. You want to hope that you did the right thing. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just starting out with a baseline to make sure that everything kind of works, and then I'm going to actually make it all better. Okay, so now that I've got the stress meter icon there, this makes me wonder about things. Oh my god, I love these emojis so much. So cute. Thanks, Wit. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to say that I want the stress meter icon, which I'm just going to copy the name of, to have an anchor point in the center, because I think it's in the top right now. Yeah, so that's not what we want. So I'm going to say anchor set to 0.5, 0.5. And then when I reload this, it should hopefully show up right in the center point. Do my bit. Oh yeah, it is showing up. It's showing up at the top right there. So, we actually only need it to matter horizontally. So then maybe this will be 0. I think I'm doing this right. Okay, fine. Alright, you're just being a jerk. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna put this at mygame.stressmeterbg.y so that this is always attached properly. And then I can figure out how to do the anchor point stuff. 0.25, maybe? That looks good. Alright, same for X, because then if we move the stress meter, then it'll always be attached in the correct place. So that's important to note. And it should be in the exact same location, and we'll test some other things later. But one thing that I want to do now is move this to somewhere else, because I don't think the character has been created yet at that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the wake area, and as long as I don't have this anywhere, then it won't, the stress meter won't show up in that area. So let's say setup stress meter. Great. So I'm going to start by having it in the wake area, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ensure that, oh, this is going to be hard because I got to figure out where the stress meter starts and where it ends. But gladly, I already have some handy dandy numbers right there. So 25, 10, and 0. So we're going to say this side is 0. Where is my... Oh. Oh my god. Okay, T. T for text. Are you gonna let me work with you or not? Oh, okay. 0. And then we're gonna say... Come on. There we go. 25 is over here. And then this middle point is at 10. So that's easy enough to remember. Okay. So anything over 25 is when you're all the way down here. And I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, like, what happens when you hit 25, because at that point that's like the lowest you can go right now, but whatever, we'll figure out those numbers more later, because maybe I'll have to adjust those numbers, and that's kind of what game design is about, is just adjusting numbers until you find a point that makes the most sense, at least when it comes to, like, designing things like this, like thresholds and things like that. Hello! I think that's Will, but I am gonna just say hey in the chat anyway. Yay! This is Jams. This is really weird Jams. This is, Mia, Transgression of Mortals. Mia. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the game init. Actually, I could probably just grab most of that. Oh, I lost it. What is this song? Okay, this song is weirding me out. Does it go places? Okay, it goes places. It might get weird again. I'm warning all of you. Okay. This is so good. The bass crunch is really good. Okay. Texture. See, this is what happens when you get really far in, as I mentioned. You just copy stuff and then it all works out. Okay. Just copy old code and you don't even need to remember what you did before. Okay. So I'm just gonna say this so that if the player is stressed a certain amount, then it's gonna load firstly in with a certain picture, and then I'm also gonna say I'm gonna figure out exactly how I want to do the positioning. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm checking out the Instagram right now. That is really cool. Okay. 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 My brain is just working a little bit because I hate having to figure out threshold stuff. But I think I understand what I must do. So firstly, I'm gonna make sure this shows up. It didn't show up. Why aren't you there? So when things don't work, just console log them, because that helps to make sure that stuff is actually functioning correctly, and maybe this thing is just stuck behind some other thing. Nope. Did I not draw it in the right place? There it is. Okay, that was weird. Oh, that's in the what? Where are you even? I pressed the other thing. Well, maybe I didn't. Weak. Alright, I'm just gonna see if I can get this thing to properly function. Programming. Okay, well there it was. So that's something. And now just put it in the reverse order and hope that it all functions properly again. Okay, great. Let's see. Please just work. Please work. Help me. Help. Great, it's there. I want to move it again. Alright, so I'm gonna move that to like 60. But what really matters is that it's there and it looks reasonable. Although I wonder if I move it too much, if it'll look weird when it's floating in space. But whatever. We'll figure it all out, you know? Like I said. Alright. Oh. Someone's home. Cool. Okay. I guess what I'm trying to think about now is exactly how the stress meter should work, but what I'm gonna do is have an update function for this thing, I think. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna check and see where this thing is, and maybe I'll actually just put this code in there too, and then I'll say else. This should be happy. So what it'll do is it'll check as soon as it's done loading, and then when it's now. Okay, yeah, great. And then in the meantime, what I have to do is figure out exactly, I have to remember like basic math skills because it's been a while. Maybe, okay. It's been a bit, but we're gonna figure this out. So firstly, I'm gonna start, I guess, by at least starting to define the actual function that I want to do. So what I basically want to say is that stress icons X. Also, I realize I'm hiding the chat. Okay. So I want to say the stress icon's location, the horizontal location, is equal to the actual stress number, but it's got to be proportional to the width of this thing. Okay, so I think I got it. I'm gonna probably need that information. Actually, so of the meter. Okay, and then I also need to say if it's over 25, then don't go any further. Okay. Okay, so this part I can understand. So in this case, I'll say if the stress is less than 25, else, then I'd want this to be the x of this. Okay, so we'll say, we'll drop this in here, equals stress meter background x plus the width of it. And then what we have to do here is, so we're gonna have to do something again with the width. This is all just slowly cranking around in my brain because I'm really good at math, as you can tell. Okay, so we're gonna have to do something similar to this, but then we're gonna have to multiply this times the stress meter amount divided by, you know, this is where things are gonna get weird. Let's just see what happens when we do this, because I don't know how I graduated from high school right now. Oh. Where did I not define my game? 210. Oh, whoops. Forgot to put a comma. JavaScript is fun like that. Alright, that's probably accurate. But what I'm gonna do is just also put a console.log. And I'll say stress x plus that. And then do I need anything else? That's probably all I need. Okay. And then something I'll have to continuously do while this game is going is actually update this. So we're gonna say, as this thing updates, update the stress meter. I think I'm also going to make this into a group because I can see situations in which I want to hide and show this thing. And then I think the code for doing this that way is create. Okay, it is create. See, I knew it was kind of different, so I wanted to just make sure. Dot create. Great. for you. And hopefully that still works. You'd be surprised at how easily these things break. Yes, okay, great. And, it is kind of annoying that this thing consistently updates even if... You know what? Maybe I can put it closer to the stress meter and not even have to deal with this. Okay. I think I know how to do that. Da-da-da-da. Where was this thing? Here you are. Because that's calling a lot of stuff on the, constantly. You're just, like, constantly calling something, and that's kind of not... You don't want to overload people's computers, basically. Okay. So I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to just say if my game dot stress meter group. So if that exists, then we can do this. So we'll update the stress meter. So hopefully that'll prevent things from going all out of whack. Okay, and then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it so that in situations where the dialogue shows up, so does the stress meter, because in most of those cases they're the same. And then let's see how that runs together, because I want to see the stress meter happen. Okay. State title, okay. So what I'm doing here is just ensuring that in cases where the stress meter... Actually, I wonder if I need to do that. Because maybe... Let's see... Commute morning? Show... State title. Okay, you know what? Show state title. Okay, I did that in there. I did that in here. Okay. So maybe I don't need to do this. What's in this function? State button. Dialog button. Cha-cha-cha. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I even need this. Alright, let's see what happens. Actually, let's keep it in there. And then see what happens if I say that this is true later. Because I'm not even sure if this will work. Okay. Let's see where this gets us. I'm gonna set this up at the end. I think this is the end of the setup dialogue. It is. Okay, let's see. Does that work? Or does that just like make things worse? Cool. Okay, so that's there. Great. Ooh. I wonder if... No, I don't know if that's a thing. We'll find out. Cool. What was that there? Whatever. That's weird. Yes. How did you get... Oh, you jerk. Okay, I forgot to make sure that this other thing is stuck to the camera, so of course it moves. You jerk. Okay. Cool. So now this thing is basically there most of the time. Alright, cool. Now we gotta do something that makes the character feel sad. Jesse. Stress X. Why did you create an object? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, dot X. I just want to understand exactly if this is working or not. We're gonna try again. This is basically all game development, okay? Well, maybe it's... I'm sure people have better ways of skipping through sequences than I do. At least the music is jams, right? Let's see what happens if I keep going. Stress level still at 0. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Well, those are all fucked up right now. Cool. Found a bug. Gotta fix that. Let's see. Gonna go find the right file for this, because that's how I fix these things. Good night. Okay, walk night 2. So how I make all of these how I make all this dialogue is by writing it down in these spreadsheets. So I gotta go find this correct spreadsheet, which is not that hard because I have managed to organize most of my things. Let's see. Aren't these eyebrows great, though? I think I could definitely rework them a little bit. Maybe give them a little bit of a reversal, though. But this is why you take your time. LOL. Okay. Okay, so I think I got the right file. Walk night 2. Okay, here we go. I think what happened is that this file was exported improperly. That's a very easy fix. It also sadly means that I was not really able to... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wait. Now why didn't this thing properly move over? if it definitely should have. Whatever. Okay, so we're gonna fix this problem first, and then I'm gonna do a playthrough and see if this works or not. So I really just want to see if things are working properly. So it looks like it's in the same spot. Okay. Export. New export cell arrays. Done. Oh wait, crud, I wanted to visualize it because exporting it doesn't really matter for me anymore. Okay, Walk Night 2. Yeah, that's properly exported. Okay, so what had happened was that I just improperly exported this file. Well, you know, that's life. I think I wrote a lot of these when I was like very excited at nighttime, so. Okay, let's see. Dragging the circle, being a dragon. Okay, come on. Going through the game, going through the game. See, it's definitely not updating itself. I want to see what happens when it gets to 25. Well, on the bright side, the face changed. So that's something. Why isn't it going where it's supposed to go? Let's see what happens if I do this. What I'm doing is creating a variable that will hold where this icon should be located. And I just want to see what happens if I do this and then put this in here. contracting it a tiny bit will make this a little easier. What I'm also going to do after I test this is ensure that if I reset this to like 10, let's see what happens if I move this to 10. Okay, well, that's kind of working. See what happens if I go to 30. This is great. This means that it's mostly working. And then I think I will... Okay, great. Oh, this is a good song. This is a good song. Okay. So it looks like I have gotten this to work properly, and what I think I will do is remove this anchor here and just set it back to its original 0, and then maybe that'll look alright. What? This is freaking magical, y'all. Ooh. Okay, and then I'm gonna move this over back to like 20. Thank you to whoever decided that this needed to exist. See, the only thing I don't like is how close to the edge that is in most cases, but I think I'm just gonna have to accept that sometimes it's gonna be over there because I want it to align properly with the other stuff in the view. But whatever, let's try seeing how this functions and if it mostly works. And as you will note, sometimes there are blank moments, and that's just something you have to deal with. Because I'm not done visualizing this whole game. So happy I get to reuse this icon. I don't think Jessie actually makes me feel worse, which is weird. Does Jessie not like me? Two. Nope, let's add 3. On the gray. Yes. Event, school, Jesse. I'm just editing this file again. So anytime I make a change to the dialogue in here, I also want to make sure that it's updated in my master files so that I can keep track of everything. Okay, great. I can probably eventually get rid of that one now that I have this meter, which is exactly why I made this meter, because I was tired of having to write, "You feel stressed." I just want people to look up here and know that the person is feeling bad. Whoa. That's weird. On one hand, things are working. On the other hand, I'm terrified. Oh my. Okay, that was interesting. I wonder what happened there. That was so weird. I cooked with my mom. So cute. Oh boy. Okay. And that's another thing. Okay. Then I do need a state for subtracting back to 0. Okay. If your stress is less than or equal to 0, then you have to do something, and then I'll put another just else case here. And then this will just be 0 point. This is gonna be weird. I just want to see if I can reproduce that other bug. Look at those shoes. I mean, you already feel good, but you know, I'll work on that too. Why not? See, why is it... I thought load texture was... Maybe load texture is not the right thing to put here. Okay, let's see. Set phaser, set new texture to object. See, this is what I thought, but it's being weird. Maybe I just need to move this to after I do this? I wonder if just moving it like that will fix this problem. Because I really don't know why this is happening. I'm gonna hope that that fixes the problem, and later I will reload. There's so many things that I don't need to do now that I have this little meter here. It's amazing. That's weird. Ugh. I know why half of these things are happening, and it's because of exactly where the stress thing is. Actually, the dialogue is always going to well, the stress meter will always exist, so I'm just going to see what happens if I put that, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where to put this so that I don't have to write it in manually. Unless this is saying... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the right place where I want to put this, but it's just being a jerk. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna hope that I don't have to manually edit that. Okay, I'm gonna see what happens if I reload this. I also want to check and see if there are any new wishes granted. Please grant children wishes. They just want love and simple wishes. 7! 7! Okay, cool. Again, I'm helping to do this stream as part of the Spawn for Good chill streaming thing. We're specifically doing this so that kids who registered through One Simple Wish, they're all like foster children around the United States. We're doing this so that people can go and donate and you know, help grant these kids wishes. Generally, they want pretty simple, straightforward stuff. So some examples of some things that a kid, you know, might actually want is like clothing for someone who wants to feel more confident, or like a phone for someone who goes to work in addition to going to school, sneakers for a kid who really wants to get along with other people, a high chair because a kid needs to eat and they're a toddler, you know, like really straightforward things. You can like gift these things to kids and really help make their lives a lot better. So I highly recommend going to onesimple.wish.org/giving/spawn4good and check out all of the different gifts. I think it's truly worth you know, spending some time to make kids happy, especially kids who aren't who just don't have as many resources as other kids might have. So even the smallest, you know, thing really helps people, I would say. So if you can, go there and check out some of the wishes and try to give those kids, you know, things that they really need to properly focus and feel happy about being alive. Alright, so I'm going to keep going. Sorry for putting up in-game underwear for a while. LOL. This is a cute outfit, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Jesse, you're such a jerk. Why is it still not making me feel stressed? Ooh, goo. Ooh to the goo. Ah, it's still doing this weird thing. You know what? I think what I'm gonna do is just... maybe it's just... it thinks it's discarding the texture, but it's not for some reason. You know what? Maybe this isn't exactly a good reason why I should have just made these things into a singular block. So I think what I'm gonna do now is just do the thing I probably should have done before, because I was lazy. Alright, so what I am about to do is I am going to make these into a sprite. I'm going to change the name a little bit too. And I'm going to just tweet because you know my life. Alright. Let's see. So I just exported that as a whole group, which means hopefully now I won't have these same issues where it's loading a new image, because what I'm going to do is kill these other two. I'm going to look at the size of one of these, which is 104. And then I'm going to make this into a sprite sheet. $104 and 104. Meter icon pair 2. Great. So now that I've done this, hopefully things will work more smoothly. I think all I'll need to do is play animations based on the specific how they're feeling at the moment. So I think I have to remember how to do animations. Okay, great. Alright. Then I gotta find exactly where I was. Setup stress meter. Okay. So what I'll do now is just delete that and then drop this in both of these places. Add, oh yeah, I have to remember exactly how frames work. The other half of being a game developer is Googling everything. Okay, animation events. Although the texture one seems kind of cool too. Oh, you, come on. I'm literally trying to remember the sprites involved. I'm just trying to remember exactly how to sprite. That's different. You know what, I'm just gonna wing it and hope I remember. quotation marks. What are those? Okay. Whoa. Bad. Okay. Good. Great. Let's see if I did this correctly or not. Because as you can tell, it's kind of half debugging, half actually knowing what you're doing. I did it wrong. Okay. I thought that was the correct way to add animations. But the new examples are kind of messing me up a little bit, so... Oh wait, I wonder if it's that I... I think that's probably what it is. Okay. Wait. All of these things are already sprites, then... I think I'm gonna have to, like... Well, let's see. Let's see if this example tells me, because I just have to remember how to do it. You know what? Let's just see what happens if I do this. Frame. Two. What? Oh, that's weird. That's a weird song. Sometimes songs are very weird. Okay. So then I'm gonna say 1 and 0, and then hopefully now this works. Okay. It's it's kind of functioning. Is it that I have to reload the page completely? Oh, sprite sheet, yeah. Alright, my B. So Phaser has different kinds of images, as you can maybe see or maybe not see. But I was accidentally loading this sprite sheet that I just created as an image. And that was also causing some issues, so that should hopefully be fixed now. Look at that hair layer. That's nice. Yeah, nice. I should just feel good because my outfit's cute. Oh, it's still happening? Wonder what happens if I animate this. So I have to tween things. I've written so much tweeting code. Oh, it's literally on the same thing. Great. And then, yeah, okay, I think I can just let that be the way that the tween works. Okay. Update stress meter. Okay. Let's see what happens if I make the stress meter icon move. Now maybe it won't be a jerk. Or maybe it will. The jam is strong. If you can't tell, I'm a pretty big fan of trap and other EDM. I'm pretty desensitized to this underwear also, so I apologize. Oh, she feels stressed out, oh my god. Oh, you're still doing this. You know what, let's try... I don't know, let's try killing the stress meter. And maybe that is part of this problem, although I don't see why. Alright, so I don't really know why that's happening per se, but I am suspecting that maybe what part of what's going on is that it's... I can't tell if it's creating an image that in the old spot and then jumping to the new spot. Also, I don't need both of these. I don't think I need these consoles logging anymore, but I'll keep one of them. But I'm just trying to figure out if it's moving by itself or what. Okay. That did it. Cool. I don't know why it didn't move slowly, but I guess it moved, and that's kind of part of what matters. Oh, I see. Yeah. I don't see. I thought that's how the tween worked. But maybe I'm incorrect. Alright, well, at the very least, the stress meter works, so that's cool. Um, Again, this is where I manage all the things. I guess some kind of clicking issue happened there, but I don't know if I can replicate that. Sorry, no. Let's see. Ah, whoops. Yep. There we go. Fix that issue. So, as I mentioned before, a lot of these things that I'm editing are happening all in place. They're all happening in like this spreadsheet, and so I very easily lose track of like exactly what's going on. And sometimes I accidentally say that a dialogue line should go from one ID to the same ID over and over again. Whoops. And feel free to ask me questions about anything, because I know some of this might be kind of like a lot of words. Okay. So I'm just making sure that, I'm just going to go through and make sure that these all go to the right spot, although I know this one should go to 20. And then 14, the rest of your ride home is peaceful. Cool. Guy called you ugly. Okay. I'm sure I can actually rename some of these now, which is great. Okay, so I'll put jerk thinking. Alright, I'm just like trying to figure out some like accurate dialogue, because one of the things I was struggling with before was like writing too much where it was like, you feel this way, and what I would rather have is I'd rather have the player kind of interpret exactly how the character's feeling. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of like trying to see if I can write dialogue that people infer the emotions of the character from. I'll just put sad, because, man. That's maybe more accurate. Okay. Cool. I think I'm gonna export this again, because obviously I moved some things around. I'm gonna put angry emotion here. This is how all of my spreadsheets are built out. I really like spreadsheets. If you can't tell, I really like spreadsheets. Please help the foster children. Please help them. As I mentioned before, I'm specifically streaming with the other peeps at Spawn on Me and the other people who are all kind of working together on this weekend Spawn for Good stream, and we are streaming so that people become aware of this group called One Simple Wish, and the company's whole goal is to just sponsor children's wishes. So they wish for pretty straightforward things like some shoes. Some people are asking for high chairs for their toddlers, like very, very simple things that to many of us maybe we take for granted. So if you have a chance, go to onesimplewish.org/giving/spawn for good and just check out what people are asking for and see if there's something in there that maybe you can do, especially considering the timeline that we're going, the bad timeline that we're in. But I think it's really important, especially now, to support our fellow human beings. So if you can, please go there and see if you can give. Right now, 7 wishes have been granted, which is amazing. So see if there's something that you can also give toward. Yay! Okay. How can the player cope with the negative experiences? I'm dealing with that right now. Okay. So, how I use Trello for game development is that I kind of just keep things in sections, and I don't switch things between sections. I usually just keep them open, and then I look through them, and as I kind of choose which one to work on, and that's the one that I keep open most of the time. I'm trying to think about what are some other things I can work on besides generally upgrading some things. Because most of what I need to do is like visuals, I think, at this point, other than some basic things around making the story more full of choices. So I guess let's see where this game is at right now. Jams. Okay. Drag in the circle. Good morning. Alright. So, Kitty's very cute. It's 6:45. You're groggy. You wear some cool clothes. Because everyone loves cool clothes. Pretty chill, yeah. Oh wait, leave me alone. You're a jerk. Oh, that's mean. Also, I guess I should say, this game is semi-realistic in terms of women's experiences with harassment, so there will be times, when mean things are said. And I gotta figure out why that didn't just move over the way it was supposed to. I really might have to constantly update the stress meter, even though I really don't want to. Oh, that makes me so sad. Unless, ooh, what if I also update it when the player hides the window? I don't know why that would be required. But let's just, you know, like, let's do it all the way. Alright, show all dialogue text, draw answer buttons, shrink buttons, hide dialogue. Okay. Great, update the stress meter again. Draw prompt text, hide prompt text, destroy UI objects. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's probably what's... okay, I'll fix that later. I'm just realizing that I could be destroying more objects that I'm not currently destroying. But anyway, this is like very deep in the game dev hole. Okay, so I'm feeling kind of meh right now. That's reasonable. I want to see if this Jesse timeline works yet. Jesse, you're such a jerk. I don't know why it's not adding 3, but I'll deal with that later, I guess. Thank you for not talking to me, rando. It was great. Oh my god, this is it. I'm gonna fix that later. Nah, I'm not helping you. I bet you at the end of this scene it's gonna jump all the way over, or it's not. I'm really confused. That was weird. Alright, well, at least I slept pretty well. Aw, Kitty, you're such a jerk. Alright. I'm gonna wear reasonable clothing to work today. Do I actually feel a bit better because my outfit's so cute? Because it doesn't look like I did. I'm just looking at this up here and seeing how messed up this thing is, or how messed up it isn't, I guess. Thanks for not talking to me. Always, 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 always. Ah, he calls me dear. Whoa. Why did that jump so far? Oh my god, when did I get 19 stress? Oh my god. Something's wrong there. Oh. That's weird. Okay, well that's deleted. That was super weird. Somehow I was adding a mazillion. See, this is exactly why a stress meter is useful. Just for my debugging purposes. Because I didn't know that was there. Oh my god. Okay. Work outfit normal. Oh my god, that's so bad. Wait. To event work outfit normal. Okay. Good morning, dear. Although I have to say, I don't like it when people say the word, well, like when random people who are not my parents call me dear. It's like, especially when it's like some random dude who's like, sweetie, hello. Just be like hi. Just say hi. Bobby, you can take a look at my code. Oh my god. Bobby, you're a jerk. Now I'm at 24. When does it update to 24 though? Alright. Currently it's not doing the updating it's supposed to do. Oh my god, be once. Let's see. I'm not sure why this isn't fully working right now. Thank you, random person, for making this Beyonce. I got no words. Aww. Okay, see, some of my friends didn't bring cash. Google, did you really just get excited when I literally wasn't talking about you? Weird. Okay. So I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, writing in my diary. And then I get home. And I'm pretty sure... Mom. Okay. Alright, well, this is something good for me to note down, because when I'm writing, I have to make sure that Monday... I think I fixed the errors for Monday. This was Tuesday. I think I also need to be able to keep track of the days of the week. For Tuesday, make sure late version lets you eat leftovers. LOL. Aww. Alright, and then you're asleep, and then it's the next day, and then you're happier. Why is this happening to me? Side to two side to side. Thanks, Beyonce, for this wonderful song. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna keep going through this. And then I think I am gonna have to update the stress meter every single millisecond. Every single millisecond, because for some reason it's just not working. Okay. I'm just making sure that, like, as I go through this, that the stress level that is expressed down here is accurate. Because, I just want to make sure that what I'm reading and what I'm seeing up there, they are equal. Nope. Oh my god. You're such a jerk. Oh, get wrecked, noob. Oh my god. Oh, you ignored him. What day is this? Day 3. You ignored him to be info. Why isn't it info? Walk night 3. Info. And this is the process. Now imagine doing this for 2 years. Welcome to my life. This is exactly why Stardew Valley took like 10 years or something. Okay. Continuing forth, now that I've updated that piece of dialogue. Wait. You're at 25. And... what? Oh, I'm gonna have to see what's up with that later. I think I did the math wrong, which is why this is all messed up. Probably what I need. Well, that doesn't even make sense. That should just all work together. Something's wrong there. Text replace is not a function. Okay, I'm gonna check and see what caused that error. Welcome to video games. Oh, found the error. Sometimes I forget to write quote marks. I think I fixed this issue. And I can't go any further in that scene, so that's great. I think I've just learned to live with the fact that I'm gonna have to do update stress meter constantly. Oh my god. Alright, I'm beginning to do it. Sometimes it's... What I'm doing is just dropping this into the update function of every single file. Hey, spawn randos. Love y'all. I am currently going through tons of code. Because I have to add a singular function to every single one of these, which I guess I should just have some kind of like, oh man. I should definitely probably just have something that's like called like global update functions or something. I'll work on that later. I won't. I'm already disturbing all of you with this wonderful process, so I'm not gonna like start over. Maybe that'll be part of tomorrow's exciting stream. Oh my god. Okay. Update function. In case you just got here, what I'm doing right now is game dev streaming. So I'm working on this game. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, about gender and a bunch of other stuff about being a human being, and it's kind of a visual novel of sorts, but with like other forms of interactive functionality and stuff as well. So I'm building it in a framework called Phaser. It is my favorite JavaScript framework for making games. My name's Kat. Also, I make games for the purpose of, I don't know, it's fun. Although I will say that this is like the least fun part of the game development process. But even this is like entertaining because when I get it all finished, I love seeing how it impacts everything that I'm doing. So all the code that I'm writing has a direct impact. Oh my god. Learning to code like this, I mean, I've been programming in JavaScript. Maybe at this point it's been like 10 years. But like you learn over time. I've been making games specifically since like I've been working with games and people who make games since like 2009, and I think I started making my own maybe like 5 years ago. And I only got really good at programming once I started making games because the logic is completely different. I think those are all the ones that I needed to think about. Okay, I don't need to think about increment day because it just shows up real quick. Yeah. Okay, great. So eventually I will actually make a giant function. Oh, great. Doctator, you will... I think if you experiment a little bit, you'll probably pick up game development pretty quickly. It kind of depends how you want to do it. Like when I started, I actually started with this program called Construct 2. So this program right here, Construct 2, it's for Windows only, so that was fun. And it teaches you a lot of the logic you need to know to program a game, but the real big thing is like, yeah, it's really about the logic, and then once you figure out the logic, believe me, like, the language that you use, like, you can use any languages. Exactly. Awesome. So you have Construct already. But yeah, like, it just takes a while. This is probably, I don't know what number game this is at this point, because I've started up a bunch of things and then thrown them away. But, you know, eventually, I'm sure, like, people would write this even way better as well. Like, I know people who would, like, this would blow, they would, like, blow this out of the water, but this is good enough. It's dinner time. Okay. Oh, God. I already know I'm going to have to... Okay, I don't think I have any console stuff being logged in here anymore, because if I did, then it would... People would die. Okay. Now I just want to see if the stress meter properly goes up. Again, there's a lot of underwear in this game, so if you don't like underwear, I'm sorry. Come on. No? Not gonna talk to me? Okay, that's fine. Yes, I remember the GeoCities days. When I was younger, I used the internet, even though I wasn't, like, the target audience. I assumed the target audience was like adults. But I totally remember the days of like making websites with like tables, and when Flash was like the default, and I'm happy we are beyond that point. Oh, I know this song kind of. I think I heard it the other day. Okay. I'm gonna talk to Jesse because I know that Jesse is rude. Can this thing work? No. Ugh, fine. Fine, Kara. Don't get stressed out by Jesse. Talk to... No. Gosh. Having such a good day. Dang it. Not trying to have a good day in this game right now. I want to have the worst game. And I know I need to, like, code in some debugs. But I really like playing through it fully because it forces me to actually make sure everything's working. Oh, what did I do? How did that go away? Where is it? Oh my god, what if it's like fully off the screen? Oh, my stress is -10, so of course... Why isn't this, what? Oh. Oh, that's why. Okay. And more than 0. God. If programming required a license. Oh, God. Wow. Okay, I can't listen to any more Pon Pon. Alright. Also, I want to note I have like 30 minutes left that I'm probably going to do today, and then I'm going to be back tomorrow. Around like noon EST to do more working on this stuff. And as a note again, I'm doing this stream as a part of Spawn for Good. We're trying to get people to donate to One Simple Wish, and all One Simple Wish wants to do is help adorable foster children to get things that they really want. So things like shoes, things like high chairs for toddlers, things like toys and clothes. That's kind of all they're asking for, so please check them out. There's a link there's like a URL right down there, onesimplewishorg/giving/spawnforgood. Please give and share also. Thank you. Alright, gonna continue seeing if this game works or not. I'm gonna talk to Bobby, because Bobby's rude. Also, I'm noticing very small things where I need to edit pictures. Let's see. Bobby, you so rude. Oh my god, where even is this thing? No, I want to... Oh, fine, I'll go hang out. Fine. Love writing. There it is. Good night, fucker. Okay. So now I know that, and I think the other thing I'm gonna do... Oh god. This is gonna require using modulus, and I'm very not excited about that. Oh gosh. Let's see, if dialogue stress is more than 0, or my game player stress is more than or equal to the amount in the dialogue. See, what was I even trying to do here? I am a perfectionist. It really makes you into this person who's just like, what was I thinking? And I should comment on things more. God. To do. Fix this so stress can't go under 0 so drastically. Prepare for modulus, which is one of the things that I hate the most. Just because I'm terrified and I'm a chicken. What I guess I would really want to say is, okay, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just freaking do it. If this amount, okay, so I'll say, maybe I'll make a variable in here. So, for those of you who are kind of like, what the heck is modulus? There is a JavaScript, well, there's a programming concept where if you like divide, actually, I don't know if I'm going to need modulus, I might not, but like it's the leftovers if you try to divide something by something else, and sometimes it's useful for saying, oh, like, here's how many times something goes into something and this is how much is left over, but I like not having to use that, so I just, because it's just kind of, it took me a while to understand how it works, and I think I'm only like 5% of the way into understanding modulus. So, just as a like refresher, God, it like it stresses me out like 5%, which is like probably not good. Let's see. Arithmetic. Yeah, so it's like the remainder, or modulo, whatever. Modulo. -4. Because what I just want to do is say, okay, so I'm just going to say if the amount the player is stressed is relieved by would put them under 0, go set it at 0. Which, okay, that's not that hard to do. Okay, see, this is also why writing things out makes you realize you don't need to do things that you thought you would have to do, and that's why I highly recommend just writing comments until you realize that you are kind of an idiot and that you thought you were gonna have to do way more work. And I will probably fix this later because, God, actually, let me just not be lazy. Okay, there we go. I think I can, oh, this song is great, and I've heard it way too many times. Well, we'll see if that works, because it'll tell me if it doesn't work in like 5 seconds. But I like the concept that you can parentheses your conditional statements, so yay! Why is this not? Oh, did I forget something? It's a cat! Oh my god! Hi, Missy! We're a cat family, as you can tell, as if that wasn't going to be obvious. Oh. Oh my god, that's my hair. Let's see. I don't understand why this is doing that, so I'm gonna just do that. Okay, if... Oh, okay, so then I want to put this under else, actually. Okay. And then I'm gonna say... Okay, so variable... future stress number? Or would I do that? You know, let's try doing that. Okay. And then we'll say if... Wait, actually I want to say plus. Okay. So if future stress number is less than 0, then this will just be 0. And then otherwise, just add that. And hopefully I didn't screw this up too much. Although this keeps happening down there, so that's weirding me out a bit. Maybe I don't need this anymore. I think I don't need that anymore. Okay. Alright, hopefully this is correct now. I guess I will have to test that. Oh, I guess also I should console.log. Always console log. Ooh yeah, haha, soba. Soba. Really like soba. Dang it. There we go. Yeah, modulo is the correct way of saying it. I don't know why I say modulus, but they both go to the same location when you Google it. So that's something. Anyway, sign up for Twitter. Clearly that's the answer. People really like remixing that song, let me just say. Underpants. Whatever, yes, you do look kind of attractive. Yeah, that's good. Hit on me, rando. Yeah. Fuck off. Oh, now you feel bad, but it's not moved over far enough. I think I'm gonna change that. I think I'm gonna change a lot of these variables. Which makes me realize. Alright, I'm fine. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so what I'm thinking about is the fact that I'm gonna have to create new variables that are called, like, one will be called, like, I don't know, stress threshold 25. Why aren't you? Okay, yeah, I think this should just be, yes, okay, great. So now that I have stress threshold, I can go back to all the places where I manually inserted stress numbers. Like there. And here I can just say stress threshold divided by 2. Whoa! The song is disgustingly cute, and I don't know why it's on. Okay, hopefully that's the biggest place I need to think about that at, but I'll worry about that later. Cursing is great. Write curses into all of your games. LOL. I went to MagFest and most of this was like... This was most of the music. Okay, I think this is like year 5. I can give more accurate information if I look at my website. Because I have all my games there and I forget when I made my first one. Portfolio. Games. First one, 2012. Alright, so that's 5. This is year 5. Help me. Before I made Train Jumper, I was also working on a lot of game art for people. But Train Jumper was like my first one that I actually made, and I made it in Flixel, and then I realized that Flixel was not going to function right in the future because the future did not involve Flash. RIP. And so the ones I've tried to make after that were either in like Construct 2, Unity, or this framework that I'm using here called Phaser for JavaScript. Cool! This is functioning, and I really like that I made the stress meter. This is the stress meter is the thing that I made today. This little motherfucker right here. So I'm very happy about that. And also, if you hate cursing, I'm sorry. That's just how I function. Whoops. Let's see. So this is kind of what I'm building. You can tell exactly where I just got lazy. Look, I definitely remember, I have a book literally in this house about ActionScript, and all I gotta say is rip in peace, because it definitely was worth, I think there's still applications for it, but as long as most smartphones don't accept them, then it's kind of like, good luck, because, I don't know, I mean, maybe it'll come back, you know? Maybe when Chrome isn't, like, asking me constantly if I should accept this plugin or not. Because right now, even Chrome doesn't like Flash. Yes! QuickTime events. Build them into all of your games. Well. Ew. When did it get there? See, I'm missing all this. That's so weird. It's like I got to the home and then suddenly it jumped way over. Stupid game. I don't want to help you, Mom. You're a freaking jerk. Just kidding, my mom's great. I don't think it moved at all. Maybe that's too small of a... No, I don't think it's moving. Oh, yeah. So how Phaser works is you have to have a server set up for it to run, because it's like one of those things where it's just like, oh... We don't want JavaScript to run on your like, without a server, because it's not secure. And so I had to make a Python server. And so every single time I'm making changes, I have to reload, which is hilarious. I mean, yeah, like, it's got its merits. Like, this game is going to be easily available on the web to people, which is cool. But at the same time, kind of annoying to have to write one of these things. But it's not that bad. You're not that bad. Thanks, Mom. Still feeling like garbage. See, why? Sometimes I hate things. I'm gonna have to figure out why that's happening and why it's not reflecting the stress number that one might see down here. Alright, I'm gonna write that as a bug. I highly recommend Trello, even though they just got eaten by Atlassian. It is a great product management tool, and hopefully Atlassian will not turn it into a terrible product management tool, although Jira's great. And yes, I highly recommend, just if you have something that you want to, that you feel like needs to exist, then that is your opportunity to learn to code at that, like, it'll take you time, obviously, but if you have a project in mind, it's much easier to learn to code when you have a project rather than if you were kind of like aimlessly saying, oh, I want to learn JavaScript or something. Like, it's so much easier to have a project in mind and then kind of like write it out like I was writing it out, and then figure out through research and like scrounging together Google searches exactly how to do what you want to do. So that's how I learned to code. The first year of my life was 50% a book that I found on the street that happened to be about JavaScript, and the other 50% was just Googling everything and trying to figure out how to apply it to the project I was creating. So I highly recommend it as the way to code. Yes, pseudocode is bae. So this specific bug is stress meter doesn't immediately reflect stress values all the time. It's not the worst. Yeah, maybe tomorrow I will try and figure out some of these interactive exercises, because as you might have noticed right now, when the player goes to work in school, it's literally just like it's nice that they're talking to people, but there isn't really that much that they can actually do. And it might be nice if the player had a little bit more that they could do, and then maybe after they do that, they can interact and say, hey, I finished this project, or something like that. So that's what I'm gonna try doing, and I think this is giving me an idea that I also need to write down what player does after interactive exercises at work and school. And I think that's when the player should talk to someone. Hey, Shanique! The player should then ask someone to review their work job. So that's at the job. And then the player should ask to perform in a group project with someone or something. I don't know. Now, this one makes sense after class, I think. Okay. When it comes to bugs, sometimes I will fix them immediately when I find them, especially if they're like writing bugs. But sometimes I'll just leave them because I don't want to worry about them right now. Because sometimes I just get absolutely exasperated. And it's more like, I don't know, I just feel happier sometimes working on features than bugs, but I will modify bugs sometimes if they're like so game breaking that I can't continue. But if they're small things like stress meter isn't always accurately reflecting the stress value immediately, then that's something that I just probably need to refactor the code a little bit and figure out exactly how to ensure that it's always properly updating. So that's my plan. I'm really sure it's something simple that I just need to look away from the code for a bit, and I'll like be able to fix it next time. So that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, no, screw that bug right now. I think for a little bit I'll work on figuring out what these work and school exercises might look like. Whoa, Macs are weird. And thank you, Shanique. I really enjoy this random SoundCloud station. I'm gonna actually share the station because it's entertaining. So it's like the last 5 or so minutes that I'm gonna spend on today. And before I do a little bit of wireframing to kind of wrap up, I just want to again mention exactly why we're doing this. So I'm helping to stream with other people who are like friends of the Spawn on Me podcast friends, cool peoples. And so what we're doing is we are streaming for foster children's through this group called One Simple Wish. And if you go to onesimplewish.org/giving/spawn4good, you'll see a bunch of different places that or a bunch of different kids who are asking for very simple things like shoes and other like things that are kind of just daily necessities, really. Like, all they want are regular people things. They're not asking for like DJ equipment. Like, one just wants a gift card so that he can, for a person who's like trying to work on their GED, shoes, a smartphone, like really straightforward things. One kid wants an American Girl doll. Another kid wants a Barbie rainbow castle. Like, really straightforward gifts for people. So we're just out of the holiday season, obviously, so I totally understand if you're kind of like, where is this money? You know? I am also doing it for the lulz. Yeah, so if you do have the ability to do so, please check out One Simple Wish. If you don't, then you see all those hashtags there. Go on the internet and use them. You're already on the internet. Go to the other internet and use them. Wireframing. This is how it works. What even was there? Oh, yeah, that's just a squiggly line. Okay, so this is how I kind of map out, for people who were here before, this is the additional repetitive spiel. But this is where I map out all of the different interactive experiences that are going to happen. And I do that because I want to make sure that I give I properly like think about how things are going to be laid out. I'm just going to make another one, and this one will be for how, like the interactive exercises that the person does that are kind of like their job. And when I think about this, I kind of think about WarioWare, except like real life. Yeah. So things like cropping images and dragging and dropping code into place and wireframing in this. Whoa, that's meta. Okay, so I'm just gonna say design a nice website. One of the first things I did as an intern actually was that, though. Like, they had me design a website, and I was like, "Are you sure you trust me with this? Because I'm trash. I'm trash." And I was trash, but they loved me nonetheless, and that's what matters. Can I not? Can you just? What is still grouped? Oh wow! Oh wow! Whoa! That was weird. That is exactly why things were happening. Oh, seriously, fine. Fine. OmniGraffle is weird sometimes. I used to use PHP a lot, and then, Etsy uses PHP a lot, and that's where I work now. But I mostly don't worry about, like, PHP. I usually just focus on, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the stuff I do now is just like prototyping at work, so I don't really have to worry about PHP as much, although I could if I wanted to. I probably will have to soon, actually, because I want to start doing some front-end stuff that's more like on production, but right now I do not mess around with PHP very much, but I used to, because I used to do a lot of WordPress stuff, and everyone knows PHP because of WordPress. Yay. So I want to think about how this might work. You could do something like this, where this is the page, and then you've got, like, I guess I could literally mimic how this whole thing looks. But I think I want to have, like, I don't know, content boxes. In terms of game design, I guess it's a combination of things. Like, I'm a UX designer by day, so that kind of made me really curious about, like, how people interact with things. And so that's kind of how I got started. Swiss cheese. But yeah, so I kind of got started with game design. Like, I'd always wanted to do game design, but when I was younger, I had no idea how it worked. So I, like, had notebooks full of just design ideas that in retrospect don't make sense, and then I just started building really stupid random things, and eventually I started realizing, oh, like, there's something interesting in there, and then I realized eventually, oh, sometimes you do have to build diagrams, and I'm really good at that. So I really like that I can kind of utilize, like, that part of my brain that's all about like figuring out how one thing flows into the next, and that's a big part of game design, is like figuring out the proper flow of things so that things are challenging enough without being frustrating to the point that they're going to leave the game. And I also like figuring out how mechanics can kind of tell a story. So that's what I'm trying to do in this game, is really figure out like how can I use mini games in a way to kind of like convey like have a person flow through a story and make it feel realistic, but also make them feel like they're thinking about something, learning something, and hopefully having a good time. I don't really think of it as much as like a game having to be fun, but I do think that it's important that people value their time and that they feel like they got their time's worth, you know? So it's just kind of experimenting, like just build absolute garbage, and then eventually you find something that is maybe not the worst. And that's kind of how I got to do the game thing. LOL. I'm going to spend like 3 more minutes trying to figure out like what content blocks could look like for this, because what I'm wondering is like how would I guess the questions that someone would have for designing this system is like, oh my god, tea. Okay, there we go. How to measure good versus bad? Like, how do you measure in systems design what a good website is versus a bad website? So that's kind of going to be weird to actually build. And I will have to figure out how to make sure that combinations can only look good or bad. But yeah, what I'm trying to think about is like, could you have something like this, you know, where it's like content blocks and you put it on a page and you have to make it look nice, you know, like that. So that could be kind of cool, and I kind of like this idea. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it is something like this. This is not good. That's gonna just bug me for the rest of my life. It's never gonna be perfect. I'm gonna just tell myself that. Okay. Look at it. Look at that little tiny space down there. But it doesn't matter because this is a wireframe. For your first project, please learn from me. Like, I probably still have the... If I can just... I'm going to try and search for, like, what my first project was, because I'm pretty sure I still have the link to the first thing that I worked on with my friends. And if I don't, oh my god, y'all are missing out. Because it was, like, a huge magnum opus of just mess. Yeah, I think it's, like, off my... I'm pretty sure I deleted it from my drive. Because... God, it was so long. It was like pages and pages and pages of writing. And then eventually we just realized, wow, none of us can do this. So the point I'm trying to make here is really just, please start with something very, very small. Like the project that I mentioned that I worked on was like 30 seconds. And that's enough to really get a lot of experience. Because like, you don't want to spend, like, Al the Chemist is probably never going to actually launch because of the same thing. We wrote pages of dialogue and we didn't build enough. So you really just got to start with like a 30-second thing and then go from there. Shanique, I am just, it's a wireframe! You know what? There. All right. So it's about time that I get going for today, but as I mentioned, I will be back tomorrow, and depending on how much I get done, maybe I'll show up on Monday, but I kind of want to go rock climbing because that's also a part of my life, and I also just want to hang out and maybe sleep. Sleeping is cool. Sleep, everyone. So I will see all of you hopefully tomorrow around like 12 noon, I think is when I'm going to probably show up, EST. So until then, please go check out the other Spawn for Good people. I think I'm probably going to host one of their channels. But if you're interested, here's a link to see a bunch of the other people who are streaming right now. I just posted that in the chat. So it's been real. I'll see y'all later.